Good morning from Chengdu Shuangliu Airport, the old airport in the southwest of Chengdu. Yesterday I arrived here on Air China, COMEX C909 from Nanchang, and today we are leaving on a subsidiary of Air China on Tibet Airlines, and we're having two flights on them, first from here in Chengdu down to Zhaotong, and then onwards from Zhaotong to Pu'er in the late afternoon. Why did I book such a peculiar routing? Well, it has to do with the aircraft type to use, hopefully, on this first flight down to Zhaotong. It is an Airbus. Wait, why do I get excited about an Airbus? Well, let's go to the terminal and see. Tibet Airlines does not have its own website as far as I know. They use the Air China website, so theoretically I could find my booking and my ticket in the check-in information on the Air China website, but then I got an error message and I couldn't proceed with the check-in, and I also couldn't select any seats in advance, so I kind of just want to go to the check-in counter early and see if they can give me a window seat. That's obviously also important, so let's go.
First floor.
The hotel offers a regular shuttle to both terminals, but I decided to walk. It's an easy walk along a park and takes only 10 minutes. I could not use the machine for check-in and had to wait in line for a counter for about 5 minutes. Once done, I headed to security and was airside 10 minutes later. There we are, airside here at gate 152. Our gate is 35, which is downstairs, but I think, I don't know, I have a nice seat here. It's nicely padded and they have power outlets, so let's just wait up here for a bit. Airport is okay, can't use the Wi-Fi though because you need a Chinese phone number for that. Doesn't work with an international phone number, or you need some sort of account which you cannot create on the login page, so I don't know, it's pretty unusable, but other than that it's okay. Although I like the new airport, Tianfu Airport on the southeastern side of Chengdu a lot more. Anyway, I promised I wanted to tell you about that special Airbus that we're flying today. So, as I told you, we're flying Tibet Airlines. Tibet Airlines is one of the very, very few operators of the Airbus A319neo. And I really hope we can fly on one of these today. It's all looking good. In Flight Radar I can see code 31N for the flight today, which is the code for 319neo. Yesterday it was at 319 briefly, so I was like, yeah, maybe it doesn't work, but now they switched it back to 31N. I cannot see the registration yet, but yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed it's actually gonna be the Neo. So about the Airbus A319neo, why is it so special? Well, because there are only a handful of them operating in the world, really. There are only like 20, 30 Airbus A319neo operating in the whole world. It's still kind of a new aircraft type. It was launched in 2017 with the first delivery to China Southern Airlines taking place in 2022, or there may have been some deliveries to private operators before that, I don't know. And apart from private jet operators scattered around the world, if you want to fly it in active passenger service, you can only find the 319neo in China, which is a bit peculiar. Only Chinese airlines have ordered that aircraft type. There's not even any outstanding order from any other country. It's only Chinese operators. Why is that? I don't know, actually. I just have a few theories. You see, the 319neo has a direct internal competitor at Airbus, and that is the Airbus A220, which Airbus took over from Bombardier in Canada at around the same time they introduced the Airbus A319neo. The A220 has a similar seating capacity, but it has longer range and even more fuel efficiency, so that may play a crucial role why airlines opt for the 220 instead of the 319neo. There was a bigger order for the 319neo by Spirit Airlines in the US, but they cancelled it. And the only airlines that have ordered the 319neo are here in China. There is Tibet Airlines, including Air China, sort of, because Tibet Airlines is a subsidiary of Air China, and there is China Southern Airlines. So those are the two main ones here in China that have ordered the 319neo and that are operating them. And there's, oh, that's a regular 319. The Airbus A319, the original one, is very popular in China. That's because China has a lot of high altitude airports in the west of the country, around Sichuan province, around Yunnan, in Tibet, even in Xinjiang, I believe. And the A319 has very good high altitude characteristics. The original A319 is also the only aircraft type that is currently certified to operate in and out of Zhaotong Airport, the highest airport in the world. That's like an hour west of Chengdu. It's not where we're going today, unfortunately. I want to go there at some point, but not today. Today we're flying down to Zhaotong and then on to Pu'er, but maybe next time. Yeah, but that may be a reason why Chinese airlines in particular opt for the Airbus A319neo, like the modern version of the A319. And maybe the A220 is not even certified in China. Actually, I'm not sure, but there are no Chinese customer for the Airbus A220, like not even any orders. So that may play a role as well, why Chinese operators opt for the 319. And last but not least, a lot of the Airbus aircraft for Chinese customers are assembled at the Tianjin final assembly line. That may also be a reason why Chinese airlines prefer the 319neo over the 220. Anyway, it's about 45 minutes to boarding now. I would say let's head down to the gate and let's keep our fingers crossed it will actually be the neo and not the original 319. Let's go downstairs, catch the bus to the aircraft and see. Boarding started well on time and I soon found myself on a bus out to the apron. I spotted a number of Tibet Airlines aircraft and I wondered which one it was gonna be. Soon my hopes were fulfilled as we pulled up in front of this beautiful aircraft, which was indeed an Airbus A319neo. Tibet Airlines has 9 of those in their fleet and this one was just about 2 years old. Tibet Airlines livery is really cool, and also look at those massive CFM LEAP engines. As for the cabin, Tibet Airlines A319neos come with 8 seats in business class and 126 in economy class. That's 6 additional seats compared to the conventional A319. And welcome aboard what is in fact an Airbus A319neo. They're just loading the luggage here, and I hope my luggage is there as well. This is Bravo 32 Charlie 0, and I'm so happy. This is actually the second time I've tried to fly on an Airbus A319neo. You see, I tried it last year on the way from, Guangzhou to Yantai on China Southern Airlines, but they changed it like to a regular 319, and then I ended up not making a video about it. But this time it worked. This A319neo is about 2 years old, and the cabin looks very, very nice actually. There was already a water bottle at every seat, and yeah, like an air sickness bag, and the safety instructions at the top, as well as a magazine. Seats themselves look very nice. There's tons of legroom up here in row 6, but I think it's a full flight. There are people coming into my row now. I think boarding is completed 15 minutes before scheduled departure. Nice. Row 5 is free on the left side. There's also a USB port at the seat and a device holder as well as a cup holder. The flight I'm currently on actually has 2 sectors. It first goes from Chengdu down to Zhaotong, where I will leave the aircraft, and then it continues from Zhaotong to the city of Dali. But I'm not going to Dali. I will leave the aircraft in Zhaotong, and then I have about 6 hours to spend in Zhaotong before my next flight down to Puer. All looking like a very on-time departure. They finished the loading and yeah, should be on our way soon. Wow, there's an A350 of Sichuan Airlines passing by. I've flown Sichuan Airlines before, check out my video. Okay, I think the reason why the 5th row is empty on the left side is because the security officer just sat down there. In case you didn't know, every flight of a Chinese airline has a security officer on board. They are responsible for maintaining security on board. They are clearly identifiable. During the flight they will walk through the cabin a bit, make sure that everything is in order, and they usually have a camera with them as well.
Please let battery charger such as power bank and prohibited source of flight. We invite you to show plan journey. Thank you. 女士们、先生们，我们的飞机已经退出。按照起飞了，请再次确认您的安全带与扣好系紧。As well, takeoff shortly. Please make sure your seatbelts are securely fastened and your mobile phone remains switched off or set to the airplane mode. Thank you.
4
And airborne out of Chengdu, runway 02 left, getting a bit bumpy now, but otherwise a very calm takeoff, a very smooth climb out, and we turned right after departure, and we're kind of circling the city of Chengdu right now. Oh, looks amazing. Oh look, there's a railway station down there. Which one is it? Like East Railway Station? Yep, but all looking like a very smooth flight all the way to Zhaotong. Scheduled block time is only an hour and 20 minutes. I don't think there will be any service. I mean, they placed the water bottles at the seats before boarding, so maybe that's it. But yeah, other than that, there's not really much time for any type of service. But anyway, let's enjoy the views outside. There are almost no clouds where we are flying here. Some clouds in the distance, but not here. It's interesting how random towns with lots of skyscrapers just kind of pop up in the distance. The flight mostly went by uneventfully. There was no in-flight service, but at some point they played this video explaining turbulences, which was kind of interesting. We then started our descent towards Zhaotong.
9903前往大理凤仪机场的旅客请注意，请您携带全部手提行李下机，等候广播通知再次登机。遗留在飞机上的物品。And welcome to Zhaotong Airport, a small regional airport in the northeastern corner of Yunnan province. This airport sits at just under 2,000 meters above sea level and has a 2,600 meter runway. With less than 10 departures a day, it's not exactly busy. Baggage delivery was quick, but you may want to hold on to your boarding pass as they check it against the baggage check at the exit. There we are at Zhaotong Airport. Arrived 20 minutes early and it's all sunny here. It's beautiful weather. It's about 15 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be 18 today, so perfect weather. Tibet Airlines was really nice. There was no in-flight service, but hey, it's a short flight, so can't expect much. They were my 216th airline and the Airbus A319neo was my 121st aircraft type. What I do is I count aircraft types by ICAO code because that's the most distinguishable feature of an aircraft type for me, and the Airbus A319neo A319n was still missing on my list, so that's the 121st now. But I'm not done yet with Tibet Airlines for today because I'm also taking them from here to Puer later. That's gonna be in about 6 hours. I wanna drop my suitcase so that I can take the bus into town. There's like a bus over there and like it goes somewhere into town, I think. Yeah, I don't really want to spend all the 6 hours at the airport here. Kind of want to see the city as well because the weather is so nice. Yeah, but I don't want to drag my suitcase all the way. So let's go inside, see if I can drop my suitcase there already. Yeah, other than that, maybe I will have to drag it. Okay, so I was able to drop my suitcase already 6 hours before departure, and then I came out here to the bus stop, but unfortunately it seems like the bus only runs according to flight schedules. Like you have the stations up there and then it costs 2 yuan, but
then it says, like at a line at the bottom, that it runs only according to flight schedules, which is a shame really, because the morning arrivals and departures are through now. Like Tibet Airlines just left for Dali and the airport is completely quiet now. Like everyone seems to be on a lunch break, sort of. Speaking of lunch, I haven't really had much to eat today, and I think there's nothing around, so I would love to go to the city, but I fear that there won't be any bus coming for the next 2.5 hours, because the next flight departs in like 3.5 hours, so I may be stuck here. Also, it made me think about how... Jesus. Also, it made me think about how I actually go back to the airport with the bus, because if the bus does not have a regular schedule, then it may be very difficult to find a bus back to the airport. Could try to find a Didi. I've actually never used Didi before, but I've been using Alipay in China extensively on this trip for the first time. Like last year it didn't really work yet, but now I Whoa. But now I configured it in a way that it works, and... Who's shooting here? Yeah. And maybe I can call it Didi with that. Didi is like an Uber in China. That is if... Don't shoot me. That is if they have Didi here, because Zhaotong is actually a kind of a small city. I don't know how many inhabitants they have, but no city in China is small. They all have at least, I don't know, 500,000 inhabitants or maybe 1 million. But Zhaotong is not too much of a center here. There's definitely no restaurant around here. I may have to walk a little bit to find a restaurant for lunch. You stop shooting. After a bit of trying around, I eventually managed to get a Didi and made my way into town. We're at Wanghai Park now. First time using Didi for me. Worked pretty well. If I understood correctly, it cost me 9 yuan, no, just over 9 yuan from the airport. That's like $1.5 or something. Why did I come here? Well, at the airport, in the schedule, like the bus schedule, it said that Wanghai Park is like the final stop of the bus. And then I was like, yeah, I don't know. I just need a drop-off point in the city somewhere. Sounded nice, so I came here, and it's like a beach park. Wow. It's not for swimming, but you can like relax on the beach, I guess. Let's go into the island. Whoa. Just gotta watch the stones here. Oh, it's beautiful here. It's a shady island in the lake. Temperature is very pleasant. It's kind of warm, 18 degrees, but not too warm. Yeah. There we are, Zhaotong. And shall I show you the most useless bridge ever? It's this one. I don't know why they have a bridge here. There's some like water underneath, and we are like on top of the river. But other than that, I don't know why they put a bridge here. But let's go across the bridge. Yeah, totally worth it. Yeah, but you see the river over there. So the river is in like a tunnel. Maybe this bridge was built before they built this whole like tunnel and square here. But let's go across the big bridge. Looks really nice. Let's see if we can find some lunch. Or maybe I can take like the bus to another part of the city first. This part of the city doesn't necessarily look like it would have many lunch options, but let's see. Oh, it's a real bird island. Lots of birds nesting over there. This is another park. It's super nice. They have a bicycle path and like a running path, and there's also some information sign with 2,600 meters, and it says something about your health. So maybe you're supposed to walk 2,600 meters a day? Don't know. Anyway, it's super nice, except for the construction work maybe. China is ever busy with building new buildings. There is 2,400 meters. Maybe it's like an information path, because here you can learn something about insects and a mouse. Let's cross this bridge here. I found a mall that's like somewhere there, I think, and they may have a food court or something. I walked a bit more and then found a shopping mall I was looking for. I opted for a small pizza, which was fairly good. After lunch I took another Didi to the old part of the town. I first walked around the park area, which was quite pleasant. Then I went through some streets with old-style houses that contained many small shops. It was a nice atmosphere and I kind of just got lost walking around here. Eventually it was time to call another Didi and 10 minutes later I was back at the airport. That was a fun 3 hours. Boarding is in about 1.5 hours, so the airport is pretty quiet right now. I think there may be a few flights arriving soon, but other than that it's pretty quiet. Well, here's a fun fact. Did you know that Zhaotong is also known as the city of apples? Well, I didn't until a minute ago when I researched it because I saw that sign at the airport. So yeah, apparently there are like lots of apple trees in the countryside around Zhaotong, and yeah, that's why it's the city of apples. An apple a day keeps the doctor away or something. Maybe I should eat more apples because I have like a runny nose. And oh, they have a VIP lounge here for 5 departures a day. I don't know. Everyone loves flowers and plants and the air environment is good, apparently. Okay, I will just wait inside, and I'm not really gonna cover much of the second flight. It's gonna be a regular A319, not a Neo this time. Flight is coming in from Xi'an. It's stopping here and then continuing to Pu'er, where I'm gonna head today. And then I would say I will see you in the hotel in Pu'er. The airside area was quite small with not much to see. After some time, boarding started and I found myself on board a close to 8-year-old Airbus A319 bound for Pu'er. Interestingly, the A319neo, which I had taken earlier, was parked right next to us. It was on its way back from Dali to Chengdu. Kinda interesting to see the small A319 with these big engines. As on the first flight, there was also a water bottle at the seat here. Pushback started 20 minutes early and we were off to Puer well ahead of time. The flaps remained extended even 5 minutes after takeoff, which was interesting to see. But eventually they were retracted and we passed through the clouds. The flight was uneventful and about 40 minutes after takeoff we started our descent.
We've just landed. Our aircraft is still taxiing. Be careful of opening the overhead compartment and watch out for the luggage. Thank you for flying with Tibet Airlines. We're looking forward to seeing you again in the near future. Goodbye and good luck.
As we approached the apron in beautiful sunset colors, I noticed a small airplane and a helicopter. Let's have a closer look at those. The helicopter, Bravo 70 Romeo 8, is a Mi-171C operated by China Flying Dragon Airlines. But I'm not sure what it was used for in this area. The small airplane, Bravo 10 Yankee 5, is a Harbin Y-12E operated by Yinggan Air. Would be fun to fly on one of those, but as far as I know, that airline doesn't offer regular scheduled flights. The 2 flights on Tibet Airlines today cost me roughly €150. I ordered another Didi and it took around 10 minutes to get to my hotel.
And here we are in the Holiday Inn Express in Pu'er, or Simao, that's the old name of Pu'er, and the flight attendant was still using Simao
to announce the airport. Room is quite nice, and one very cool feature is that you have like a separate sort of sink area here where you can brush your teeth while another person is on the toilet or something. With some really nice flights down here on Tibet Airlines, first to Zhaotong and then from Zhaotong to here. The outside area of the airport here in Pu'er looks actually really nice too, but I'm not flying out of Pu'er. The next thing I'm gonna do is tomorrow I'm taking a train down to Xishuangbanna. It's a 40-minute ride. Not gonna cover that because it mostly goes through tunnels, I think. I mean, you can like see all the mountains around here, so yeah, there's gonna be a lot of tunnels and nothing to see. But it should all go smooth. Tomorrow I'm gonna explore Pu'er a little bit. It's famous for tea, the Pu'er tea. Very famous around here. The hotel should have it as well. And apart from tea, I get 4 bottles of water. Very nice. And then in a couple of days, my next adventure will start out of Xishuangbanna. If you don't want to miss out on that, subscribe. I will see you on the, well, whatever the next thing is gonna be. Until then, enjoy your travels.